Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the masterclass. My name is Flea, and here are the 3 best build-ups for your Fortnite montage. Today I'll be teaching you 3 types of build-ups, including a simple build-up with no plugins, an intermediate build-up, and then a VFX breakdown of an insane over-the-top build-up. Now I know a lot of people have done build-up videos, but they normally just give you a bunch of presets to throw on. But me personally, I prefer to teach you step by step on how I actually do things so that you have the knowledge to make some insane build-ups yourself. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. So starting with the simple build-up, I'm going to be using this clip right here by my good friend Nally. He's actually insanely creative and supplied all the clips that we're going to be using for this tutorial. I'll also have them linked below for you to download for free and follow along at home. So here's the first clip. Like I said, he's insane, so there's a lot going on, but we're only going to worry about the build-up at the end, which is going to be that right there. So I'm going to start off by dragging this first clip into After Effects. Now you don't have to use After Effects. A lot of you guys use all different editing softwares to make your montages. Some of you even edit on mobile, but you'll still be able to follow the rough idea of what I'm going to do. So I'm going to drag this down onto the timeline. Now the first thing I'm going to be doing is actually syncing. Now if you want to learn how to sync, you can watch my how to sync tutorial, which teaches you all about how I do my syncing on After Effects. Alright, so we have the first clip synced up, and this is how it looks. So just a nice, really simple sync. And we also ended on a nice, smooth slow-mo, which you can check out my slow-mo tutorial on how I did that. We're pumping out the tutorials, what can I say? So this first build-up is going to be the simple build-up with no plugins, so let's get started. And the first thing I like to do with all my clips is adjust the scale keyframes. So pretty much the zoom in and then out right after the kill. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my clip and press S, and that's going to allow me to change the scale. So we're just going to press the little stopwatch icon, and this is going to allow me to place some scale keyframes. So I'm going to come to right about here as soon as I'm pulling my shotgun out, and I'm going to place a keyframe, and then I'm going to scrub forward a bit to right before I get the kill. So right about here as I'm about to go in, and I'm probably going to make this, let's say, I don't know, 120. So now you can see we've made like a slow zoom in as the build up comes. Now I'm actually going to scrub forward a few frames until right as I see the kill here. I'm going to zoom in to, let's say, 150 now, and then I'm going to go all the way to the end of my clip, and I'm going to go to scale, and I'm going to make it 100 again, so back to normal. So now you can see if I play it back, we got a little zoom in, boom, and then a slow zoom out, but it doesn't look that smooth. So what we're going to do is click on scale and then click on graph editor. Now you guys know I love the graph editor, and this is where all the magic happens. So just like in my syncing tutorial, we're going to hold Alt, and that's going to allow us to have some pick whips so we can move this scale and actually create some smooth motion. So you can clearly see the difference of the 2 graphs. Now I just did this in 10 seconds, but let's see how much better it looks. Slow zoom in, boom, and slow zoom out. So we've done our scale keyframes. Now let's add some effects. So we're going to keep the effects super simple with this first clip, and we're going to start off with the effect called bulge. Now I'm just going to go ahead and drag that to my clip. As you can see up here, it's a super simple effect with not that many settings. Another super simple effect that I use all the time for build-ups is an effect called tritone, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag that onto my clip. Basically, all you want to do is pick a color. So I'm going to go to, let's say, about a purple right there, and all you got to keyframe is this blend with original. So we're going to start at 100%, and we're going to go up to the end of the build up, and we can make it, let's say, 40%, and then right as it gets the kill, it's going to reset back to 100%. So now our edit is looking pretty good, but it could use one more effect, and that is After Effects' built-in glow. So we're just going to drag that onto the clip, and then all we need to do is keyframe the glow intensity. Right as I pump the enemy, I'm going to up the intensity to, let's say, 2, and then go to the end of the clip and finish on the glow at about 0.3. Hopefully you guys are keeping up with me. Let me know in the comments if you are, and I think this clip is done, so let's check it out. So here we are one last time. Build up, boom, impact. Super simple build up, no plugins needed. Now let's move on to the next clip. Alright, so starting off clip 2 with a good song and some build up sound effects. If you're wondering why I'm starting with sound effects, then definitely go check out my masterclass where I talk about it in detail. But this is what we're working with. So that is going to be the sound effects, and I also did a color correction just so I can get a rough idea of what the clip looks like. But anyway, let's jump into After Effects and start this build up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drag clip 2 in and basically do everything that we did to clip 1. And then once we've done that, we can start creating a sick build up. Alright, so we got the sync done. Let's check it out. So far, so good. Now it's time to mask out my character. Alright, and about 10 minutes later, I've finally finished my cutout, as you can see. Now, the better you make this cutout, obviously the better that the effects are going to look on your montage. The next thing I'm going to do is mask out the builds. Alright, so as you can see, we have masked out the builds and the player. Let's start adding some effects. Alright, so it's been a couple of hours. My cat hasn't moved. And here's how the clip turned out. So, once again, a shout out to Nally, man. Kid's insane. So I think that turned out pretty cool in my opinion. Let me show you what I did. So as you can see here, we added this tunnel overlay, which I got from some pack that I bought. And also remember how we masked the builds and the player? Well, if I actually hide the player and hide the builds, it looks a lot different. So that's why I did that. And then in the main comp, this is where I added all the effects. So you can see before color correction, after color correction. And for anyone wondering, the effects I used on the build up, as you can see here, we got twitch, tritone, flicker, vignette, chromatic aberration, shake, just a bunch of things to really give it that long, aggressive build up. I'd love to sit here and explain everything to you, but I'll probably save that for like a live stream. Let's move on to the last clip. All right, and the last clip I actually made last night and it turned out pretty insane. So what I did was I got clip 3 from the folder and actually added this Godzilla effect in. And basically how I did this was, as usual, cropped out both me and the enemy. Then I started to add the builds in on different blend modes, as well as added back in the background. Then of course I added in Godzilla that was already roto and masked out. And then came in the overlays to really composite everything together. And lastly, the color correction to polish it off. And well, this is how it turned out. By the way, if you have made it this far in the video, then a like is definitely appreciated. So there we go. I'd love to make tutorials or more advanced things like this, but they'd literally be 8 hours long. But those are the edits I definitely plan doing on stream in the near future, so make sure you subscribe with notifications on. At the moment, I'm just trying to teach you guys the basics and foundation of editing, so you can go off and create your own insane edits. Guys, let me know what other tutorials you'd like to see on the channel. I had so many comments on my last video telling me to make a build-ups tutorial, and I'm really enjoying pumping these out for you. It's a whole lot of fun. If you do find these tutorials helpful, then consider using my creator code Flea in the item shop. I'd really appreciate it. I'll leave my sync tutorial and my all-in-one masterclass up on screen for you guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.